Good morning and welcome to Quest Television. It's a beautiful Thursday morning and of course the house is filled up and we're here for the newspaper review looking at the trending story in the world of news, sport and entertainment. My name is Sarah Mowigo. I'm not alone. I'm here alongside my colleague, Mr. Alex Bonaya, and of course our stream analyst, Comrade Odomo. Good morning.
Oh yes, good morning. How are you?
Very fine.
Disappear like a flash.
When they say avoid to finish, you have to limit the way you appear. All right, with that being said, we're looking at the papers and seeing what they hold for us this morning. And the first paper for review is that of the Vanguard. Now let's see what the Vanguard has to say. The big story on the Vanguard paper says Forex scarcity sends Naira tumbling to 930 Naira per dollar. Kicking underneath, the big story says PDCS laments dollar scarcity. Analyst disagrees on involvement of BDCS. Parallel market premium widens. Pressure may continue despite the reform, expert says. Well, above the big story, the Vanguard paper, another one reads, Nigerian accounts for 30% global malaria burden. This is coming from Minister. You can read more on that on page 13 of the Vanguard paper. And what you will find on page 11 says MTN raises concerns over vandalism of site infrastructure in Southeast. And on page 6 of the Vanguard paper, IGP declares killer of DPO Bako in Rivers wanted. And was still on the Vanguard paper, reads academic records. We graduated in Chicago University in 1979. Tinubu's classmate speaks out. You can read more on that on page 9. And on page 4 of the Vanguard paper, ransom from kidnapping, fueling terrorism, banditry. This is coming from National Counter-Terrorism Center. We have another headline here that says $600 million trap fund. Tinubu directs CBN to meet foreign airlines. More on that on page 5. On page 9 of the Vanguard paper, Abidjan-Lagos Highway, ECOWAS moves to perfect design for project. Insecurity, Niger to open 11 public schools in Nigeria to reopen 11 public schools closed in 2021. And the last I could take from the Vanguard paper reads Nigeria sets to face Senegal, Egypt or Ivory Coast in same group. And handing over to Mr. Alex for the next paper.
And the next paper is Daily Trust. Just one story on the front page of the Daily Trust. Lack of funds stalls 16 trillion naira railway projects across Nigeria. The full story, the full gist that is, can be found on page 4 of the Daily Trust. And like I said, that's the only story on its front page. Over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Alex. The next paper for review is that of The Guardian, and the big story reads, high prices push government homes beyond average Nigerians' reach. You can read more on that on page 6. Another story here reads 800 million naira stock fund. Federal government directs CBN to settle foreign airlines backlog. You can read more on that on page 6. Less than 1% of unemployed youth benefit from government interventions. This you will find on the business page 15 of the Guardian newspaper. 6 years after Nigeria awards 49 gas flare sites to 42 investors. More of that on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Kano suspends another Casco director for alleged palliative diversion. You can read more on that on page 30 of the Guardian paper. Federal government moves NIMC to Ministry of Interior as issued NIN hits 102.4 million. You can read more on that on page 15 of the Guardian paper. Well, that's the much that I can take from the Guardian. Handing over to Mr. Alex for the next paper.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. The next paper up for review is The Nation newspaper. Employers reject NLC's plan to shut down economy. Okay, you have it on your screen. That's the lead story on the front page, and it comes with a rider, Why It Is Avoidable by Issa Aremu. TUC awaits government action on proposals. And above the masthead of The Nation newspaper, NEMA alerts flood to pound 50 communities in 13 states. That's on page 3. And staying above the masthead, NIMC moved to Interior Ministry to speed up passport issuance. Tinubu, Abiodun, others felicitate Alake at 80. Okay, we say congratulations to him from here. Cooperate with lawmakers, Janwolu tells 37 commissioners, advisors. And still on the front page of the Nation newspaper, U.S., China owe half of world's $235 trillion debts. Much money there. Food, energy prices push inflation to highest level in 18 years. And finally, from the Nation newspaper, battle rages over rector in Oshu Poly. And OAU okays new fees. The Oshu Poly story is on page 19, and the OAU story is on page 20 of the Nation newspaper. Back to you, Sarah.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Alex. And the next paper for review is the Punch newspaper. And the big story reads, ASU, parents protest as more varsities hike fees. You can read more on that on page 2. Akikandanet, the big story, says prevail on universities to reverse fee increase. PCA tells Tinubu fears mass dropout. Lecturer slam federal government over poor funding. Students will take to cybercrime, parents warns. Up above the big story here, we say manufacturers slash output, jobs over forex crisis. You can read more on that on page 9. And on page 32 of the Punch newspaper, slain soldiers, over 6,000 family members to get insurance claims. Federal government predicts heavy rainfall, flooding in 48 towns. You can read more on that on page 7. Still on the Punch paper, Libya flood kills 6,000 victims buried in mass graves. Land grabbers, violent return to Lagos, leaves trail of blood, deaths. You can read more on that on page 3. And on page 4 of the Punch paper, one Fiat killed as flood wreaks havoc in Lagos estate. And the last from the Punch paper, Naira weakens to 950 per dollar. Forex scarcity worsened. You can read more on that on page 35 of the Punch paper. Over to you.
Okay, I think that'll be all.
That's much we can take. All right, so before we open the phone lines, we would have to ask our analyst in the building. I think one of the stories that caught my attention this morning was we graduated.
Oh, I didn't
from the
yeah. Where has this man been?
Where has this man been? That's the question. Where the paper that reported that should be the Vanguard, yes. And you can read more on that on page 9. It says academic records. We graduated in Chicago University in 1979. Tinubu's classmates speak out.
Oh, last question. At least we have to put the two of them on the round table so that we have to interview them. When I actually saw the story for the first time and I looked at the pictures, how could they have been classmates without age disparity? Or was the man already schooling in advance before he was born? Because I've had the case where somebody went for interview and when they computed his age, he was 11 years younger than his age.
Okay.
You know, so when they say they were the classmates, that is not the issue the court is looking for. Court is looking for a verified evidence, which is a certificate.
Exactly.
We don't need people to come and testify that whether the man, if I had gone to that school and to visit a friend, does it mean I've attended that school?
No.
Give us the evidence that this is my certificate and let it be certified. Then nobody, all these minds will be off. You see, what you have in hand that you know that is authentic, you don't hide it from people. Yes, let's go. The only thing that will resolve the whole problem is, if I don't have, look, I don't have. But if I have, this is it. It does not cause any problem and stress to anyone. So, the man said they are classmates in 1979. Maybe we have to turn the man to a paper and make him a testimonial or the certificate that we are looking for. We file him.
Let's deal with institutions now.
Yeah.
You know, the Punch on this lead story, ASU parents protest as more universities hike fees. I think it's now becoming the norm. All the universities, especially... I
think you read one of the papers say OAU insists that the fees will remain the same. That's a big increase.
One of the university reviewed, I think it's the same way they review.
Yes.
They reviewed something downward.
No, OAU okays new fees.
New fees, meaning they've also increased
up their fees.
Yes, okay. Did, but I think they brought it down a bit. I'm not too sure whether it's OAU, but there's a university that brought their own down a bit, but not as to the expectation of the people. The economy is so hard. Parents are losing jobs. Children are out of schools. The few ones that are even graduated, they don't have jobs. And you are not telling them that they should come and pay these high fees. Automatically, you are telling them, bye-bye to schools. Go and do menial jobs. That's what you are telling them indirectly. You know, if you tell somebody that, don't let me tell you, you are looking stupid, you are stupid, the person may just smile, but you have directly told him that he's stupid, because if it's not stupid, you won't ask him that question. If the school, if they don't want the students to go to school anymore, tell them we don't want people to go to school anymore. Let them find their means. And at the end of the day, it is the nation that will bear the brunt, because most people will find their way out of the shores, and the economy suffers for it. Why are you increasing this thing astronomically when there are no jobs for the parents to do? Look at Uele environs where we are. The biggest job we have in Uele environ is Keke and Okada. And those people will struggle because they don't have any playing field. They play on the stomach of their wives, and every year they are getting pregnant. Some of them have up to 3, 4, 5 children in the school. And you say they should come and pay that type of fees. Even you have not survived one, you are talking of 2, 3 children in the school. How do you survive it? At the end of the day, social ills will creep in. And who suffers it? It is the innocent ones. Because when the miscreants are on the brow, the innocent ones suffer.
All right, well, let's open the phone lines and take views, observations, and comment from the public. The numbers for you to reach us on your TV screen, but for those of you listening by radio, do want to call the numbers 081-8888-931 or 080-22-931-931. Remember to keep it short, 45 seconds, your name, your location, then go ahead. Well, still,
good morning.
Okay, we have a call on the line. Hello, good morning.
This is one ahead from Mosoga.
All right, please go ahead.
ASU and parents protest as school fees increase. Now, we are seeing that with the first subsidy remover, there are a lot of discussion in this country. That's almost always said that it should have been reversed. The palliative could not solve the problem, but look at the whole system now. It's going to be in the state of economic quagmire. So I just pray that God should give us the wisdom to resolve this issue. Then again, a Libya flood killed 6,000 people. Victims to be buried en masse. We pray that God should give them the fortitude to bear this loss. All this problem we have in a Morocco earthquake and then in Libya. God should protect Africa for us. Have a good day, man.
All right, thank you very much, Henry. But yes, we're still taking your calls.
I saw
2 dams were destroyed, bridges, and it's something else. I saw videos and pictures, and all I could say is, God be with them.
That's that development.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yes, my name is Matthew from Owase.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. This issue of flood every year is unbecoming. Nigerian government should do something. How can we be mentioning areas, towns, communities that are going to be flooded without any action? Nigerian government should learn to take proactive action in some of these things. This flood issue is unbecoming of the Nigerian government not wanting to help the people. This palliative they are dividing and that is not getting to anybody. Can they divide a means of using part of that money of securing the lives of people from the flood? Let the Nigerian government do something. Thank you and God bless.
Well, thank you very much. God bless you too.
But a quick answer to that one I just said. We blame the government, yes, but we also blame ourselves because we are very difficult to govern. In my area, the canal that directs the water out of my zone, somebody bought it, blocked it, and built a house on top of it. Do not blame government for that. Now,
who sold the land?
I was about to come there.
The government that sold the land. It's not the land that sold the land.
But is it, what do they call that? Before selling your land, there is a property you need to own that the government needs to give you. What do they call it? C of own? Yes, C of own. So the government,
find out where
exactly.
How many Nigerians these days, businesses, how many Nigerians these days ask for C of own before they buy land?
Shouldn't the government make sure it is compulsory or mandatory before you get a land for you to have that C of O?
Many lands in Ugeli, I can tell you 90% don't have C of O, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. The lawyers know this, the government knows this, even the individuals, they know this. And that is why they will tell you, this one is with C of O, it is 1 million. This one is without C of O, it is 200,000.
But if they should find oil, exactly, if they should find oil in that land, the government will locate that land.
Where are they coming from?
Do you
Where
understand?
is the government coming from now?
But now that there is a dam there, somebody has built on top of it, or a canal, like you said, the government is not. So I think we have to work hand in hand, the people and the government.
The government cannot function without you having the perfect information. There is a high cost of getting the perfect information, which they call the PI. If you refuse to supply information to the government, how will even the governor know that such thing is happening there? How will the local government know that something like that is happening in that area? Even the councillor from that area, do they even stay at home? Because that's supposed to be the starting point. You will be a councillor in a local government here, then you are living in Asaba.
In
Abuja.
You see?
In Abuja.
You see, that is a problem we have.
Because they have access to funds, money
Exactly.
to throw around,
Exactly.
live some extravagant lifestyle.
Well, let's see if we can take one more call before we wrap up the show. Is there a caller on the line? 081-888-931 or 080-22-931-931.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
What's the name and location?
I'm calling from Victory Family.
Okay, go ahead.
The government of this should be great for everything. How can a governor not know the boundary and the boundary of his state? The government of the look at Delta State in general, the richest state in Africa, the richest. Look at what we are passing through. Look at our roads. Then which masses do you have to bring? This masses. For palliative, nothing. God bless you.
All right, thank you very much. I struggled hearing him.
It was blood.
Yes.
But I think he was complaining about palliative and state receiving it and still having bad roads and all of that. But because of time, that is much that we can take. But before saying goodbye, of course, I have to thank my colleague and the analyst, Comrade Odomo. Thank you guys for doing this with me every Thursday. Do all to stay tuned and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.